I normally have a cup of tea in the morning and one in the afternoon, and I go black in the morning and white in the afternoon. Why? I quite like it both ways. And that's normal, just kind of English breakfast tea, but we have quite a lot of international students here, quite a lot from China, Japan, and I often get given some interesting teas, which are always lovely to try. I'll basically use what's in the cupboard and that I've been given, as well as a standard English breakfast tea. My name's Tim Palmer. I'm Head of Music Education at Trinity Laban, which is an incredibly privileged position to be. So it's leading a department where there's 5 or 6 members of music education staff, and leading some programs. It's kind of practice-based in the sense that I work with students directly on their teaching, but also I get involved in the performance life of the college. But there's an academic role as well, leading master's programs, doing quality assurance on them, supporting students through personal projects. And there's a management role in designing programs, promoting, developing new programs, and working internationally as well. So as part of that, I run 2 master's programs. I teach on the undergraduate programs, and I also have this great thing called the International Academies program, where currently we work in India and South Africa doing professional development, and developing some work in China as well. The Teaching Musician program is a blended learning, accredited professional development program. Now that sounds like it's trying to be all things to all people. Blended learning means that it's predominantly online, but there is some face-to-face contact. So it's professional development, so it's based on your practice as a teaching musician. So we would expect you to be fluent as a musician, fluent enough to teach it well, and to have a professional teaching practice. But it's accredited, so it's a master's level program, but you can stop off at a postgraduate certificate or even a postgraduate diploma as well, which are slightly smaller units of study, but at the same level as a master's program. So we are a large program. We're one of the largest in the UK in terms of accredited professional development, and we're a very international program. We currently have students from 13 different countries. We form a great community of interest, of study, of exploration, of research into our own practices and how they connect to the great literature base on music education. Students on the programme have a great time really digging into their practice in relation to the theory that they learn about on the programme. And the programme is designed to fold up reflection on your professional practice with a better understanding of what other people have written about these issues. So we have 3 main core issues. One is better understanding your practice, developing as a teacher, and as part of that, for example, we do an education placement in a new area of practice that interests you, so that you can use that to better develop your career and your teaching skills. Then the second aspect is, of course, the theory, finding out more about sociology, philosophy and psychology in music education. They're the main traditions that the literature comes from. And then the third aspect is reflecting and growing as a community. So developing your ability to think critically about what you do and the relationship between theory and practice, and developing as a community to do that together. And that means understanding other people's viewpoints, the viewpoints from different places around the globe, and different philosophical stances or approaches to what you do. And so we have students engage in observations of each other teaching. We have students running creative projects together, and students always feeding back and commenting on each other's work through online forums. So this is an unusual program in that students aren't here full-time studying in the building. So the program is not like the launching point of a career in the way that a BMUS or an MMUS might be. But that's not to say that it doesn't change students' lives. Principally, students find a lot more life in their teaching. They teach better, they have a more varied teaching suite of activities, and they understand what goes on in the lesson a lot better. But as well as developing their teaching, students use the programme sometimes to move into different contexts of work. That might mean moving from a private teaching practice towards primary teaching. That might mean moving more towards community music and exploring the social impact of music making. Beyond that, some students choose to move very much more into academic study, and we always have a couple of students a year going on into doctoral work. So there are some who move on into further study, but whatever or whyever you choose to do the programme, it's really about enhancing your career, either staying where you are, developing on into management or other contexts, or treating it as a springboard into a whole new world.